Let's give my review of the HP Stream 7. This is a $100 Windows 8 tablet from HP. And, you know, I didn't really have high hopes for this because of the price point. Wasn't really expecting much. But it's actually a pretty decent tablet. It has a good feel to it. You know, definitely is, you know, plastic, and it's got, you know, that normal, you know, that cheaper kind of feeling that you would expect, but it's actually not that bad. It does have a good durable feel. It doesn't feel like you're going to be able to break it in half or anything like that. And, you know, it does come with 32 gigabytes of storage, and it has, behind the back cover here, an expansion slot for a micro SD card. First thing I was impressed with is how fast this thing actually turns on. So this is completely shut down, and I'm going to hold in the power button to go ahead and initiate the startup. And there we are. We're already at the login screen. Go ahead and log in here real quick. And there we are. We are at the start menu, or the start screen. And so that was the first thing. I was like, wow, that was actually really fast. So the next thing I did is I went right in, and I was like, well, let me take a look at the task manager to see how much RAM this is using. So let's go task manager, and it is just on start with nothing running. It is using about 75% of the available memory. So that was a little bit of a concern, but it actually holds up fairly well. I'm able to open up several different programs. Everything is pretty responsive while that's happening. I don't really get a slowdown during any of that, and I can switch between apps pretty quickly. So it really does a good job. I think they've made some good improvements with Windows 8.1 with the memory handling. So yeah, you know, and it's not the fastest thing either. Let me go ahead and make it clear that, you know, there is definitely some performance issues if you really start getting into doing a lot of things. But there's no issues with YouTube videos. So I did try to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and open up a video here. You can kind of see here the responsiveness of it. You know, it's not, you know, perfect, but it's not horrible either. You do get a little bit of delay when you are, you know, tapping on something. Sometimes it feels like you didn't hit it, but it did actually register it. So, go ahead and start a video here. Make sure we're rendering it at 720. So no problem with that. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Well, there we go. Still waiting on the store to open here. And I think that's just because it's not continuing to load while it's in the background. We'll go ahead and go back here to the task manager. You know, again, I wish it had 2 gigs of memory. That would have helped a lot, but like I said, for $100, I mean, I'm so impressed that this is only a $100 tablet. I mean, you consider that, you know, at one point in time the Windows operating system would cost you $150 to $200. So that's pretty cool. Now let me show you something here. The screen does, okay, before I go to the screen, when I first got the tablet, there was some issues with the touch screen. It just was not registering very well. I ran some Windows updates and that went away. The other issue I had too was the power button here. When I would press it once, it's supposed to just turn off the screen, but it would always, no matter how quick I pressed it, would always act as if it was shutting down. And so I did go and change, I did the Windows updates, and that seemed to fix it. And after I've done all the updates, it is running so much better. Alright, but let me show you here on the screen. Let's see, the best way to do this, I need a dark screen. Okay, so I do want to show you one thing here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the light so you can see this as good as possible. But there is a little bit of light bleed on the sides. Especially I see it a lot on the right hand side, and I don't know if you can see that. The screen is kind of dark, but you can almost see, like right here, a little bit of light bleed through the screen. And it is an IPS panel display. It does look awesome, but in darker light situations, you will notice a little bit of brightness seeping through the edges of the screen. But again, for such a cheap tablet, that's nothing that I'm really concerned about. So we'll go ahead and close this out. Jump back into our desktop. So yeah, again, concerned about the memory, but doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. Here's the amount of free storage that you'd have. I did install a few apps, but in general that's the available space, which isn't too bad. You get about 16 gigabytes, 17 gigabytes free, which, once again, you look at something like a Kindle Fire, which is a $100 tablet, and you're only getting 8 gigs. And that's total. So, again, very impressed with that. I'm going to go ahead and jump into a game here. I was actually concerned about how well it would have performed. Obviously this isn't going to play any kind of legit high-end game, but I wanted to see at least how it would handle on an App Store type game, and it actually runs pretty well. Haven't had any notable issues, so seems to run okay on here. I have played a couple games, but no issues zooming in and out. Every now and then you get a little bit of lag as the game goes on, as you're trying to navigate through stuff, but in general the responsiveness is really good, really impressive for this. Considering that on my Surface RT this game does freeze up on me a little bit, I was very impressed to see this actually run games so well. So quick comparison here. This is how it compares in size to the Surface RT. Massive difference. Here, let me go ahead and put the cover on this so you can actually see the size difference here. So this is the Surface RT, and then this is the HP Stream 7. Come on, camera, stay focused. Stay focused with me. So, substantially smaller, and again, we're not, I'm not really too concerned here about the size, but just performance-wise, I don't know. I'm really debating on just selling my Surface RT and using this as my main tablet. Maybe get a little Bluetooth keyboard for it. But yeah, no real major complaints. I mean, like I said, if I would paid $300-400 for this tablet, I might have had some complaints. But just because it's a $100 tablet, there's really no issues with it. And given the fact, I already have an Office subscription, but this comes with Office 365 Personal, so if this was your only Windows device, you could install that, and that's the a $70 value in and of itself to get a year free worth of Office subscription. Let's see if we can jump in, open up a couple more apps maybe here. But yeah, I've been messing with this for a couple days now, and I really haven't gotten anything, any issues with it. I mean, I have all sorts of stuff open here, and just to go into all these apps are actually open. Still waiting on the Store app. We're just going to get rid of that because I think it's stuck on something. So even with all this open, I mean, we're still getting a decent, you know, that memory handling is actually working really well. And you can see the disk spike and stuff, so I'm sure, you know, it is writing some of the data back to the drive. But given it's a flash storage, and you saw how fast it turned on, I think that's really helping the performance on here. If you have any questions on the tablet, please post them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can. You know, if there's any specific things you want looked at or tested on it. But my opinion is, you know, if you don't have, you know, if you're looking for a tablet and you're looking for something that runs full Windows 8, because this does run full Windows 8. I'll show you here just to, you know, show it to you. You know, I do have, you know, Spotify, the full desktop version of Spotify installed on it, and you know, it takes a little bit to open there. But yeah, you get full access to all your desktop applications. So yeah, I could put, you know, Steam on this and play some classic video games. Probably work just fine. It does have a micro USB plug on the top, so I could get a micro USB to USB adapter and you know, plug in a mouse and keyboard to this. Now at that point, I mean, it's probably a little more than what this thing was built to handle. But as a tablet, really impressed with it. Really impressed with the performance and what you get, again, for only $100. So that's my review. I'm sorry that was a little pieced together here, but like I said, if you have any specific questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. Otherwise, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more videos like these and some other things as well. And thank you for watching.